Prepare yourselves for the chilling story of a British woman named Dena Thompson, affectionately known as the Black Widow. In the mid-20s, her name became the focal point of numerous documentaries, TV shows, and crime programs. At first, Dena appeared pleasant, but beneath her facade lay a sinister truth. She was a pathological liar and a fraudster who led at least one man who loved her dearly to an untimely grave. Despite multiple escapes from punishment, Dena found herself in the dock in 2003, facing the prospect of life imprisonment. Surprisingly, the court showed leniency, granting her parole. Fast forward to 2022, and one of the most dangerous criminals, miraculously surviving her ex-husband's characterization of her as pure evil, walked free. Dena's victims were always men, leading experts to speculate about potential childhood traumas. However, her upbringing seemed idyllic. Born in 1960 in North London, she grew up in a loving family. Her father, a prison guard and sports enthusiast, instilled in her a passion for physical activity from a young age. Despite her seemingly normal upbringing, Dena's life took a dark turn at 22 when she met her first spouse, Lee Wyatt. They sparked a whirlwind romance that led to marriage. They settled in a quaint town called Yapton, where they started a family and a business creating unique soft toys. Despite outward appearances of happiness, cracks began to show. Lee's frequent absences left Dena vulnerable, and she soon embarked on an affair with a journalist named Julian Webb. Within months, Julian proposed, blindsiding his family and neighbors. Unbeknownst to them, Dena had woven a web of deceit, convincing Lee under the guise of impending danger from the mafia. In reality, the only threat Lee faced was from his own wife. Dena's elaborate ruse to Lee's exile, while she married Julian using money he faithfully sent home. It was a tale of betrayal and manipulation where love turned to poison, leaving devastation in its wake. Webb was madly in love and happy, but soon after the wedding, neighbors began to notice that the woman regularly visits the lovers while her husband is at work, and after a while she informed Julian that she was terminally ill and was fired from her job because of it. The story of a fatal diagnosis and dismissal turned out to be a lie from the first to the last word. It also turned out that a large amount of money was missing from the accounts of the company where Dena worked, with herself as the main suspect. Then the woman accused her first husband, Lee Wyatt, claiming he forced her to commit the crime through threats, using as evidence the very letters and audio recordings she had previously convinced him to create. Wyatt returned home as soon as he learned of his spouse's remarriage, but the case was limited to a scandal. Although Dena claimed he had abused her, there was no evidence, and the detectives sided with her. Lee again had to leave Yapton in a hurry. Julian's situation didn't embarrass Dena at all. He gave his wife all his savings for the treatment of her fictitious fatal disease. But as time passed, the money disappeared, and Richard began to wonder about the progress of her treatment. It turned out that the woman did not have a single medical document confirming her diagnosis. Relationships in the family broke down, and neighbors heard loud fights between the spouses. On June 1, 1994, the day after celebrating Julian's 31st birthday, he died suddenly. The evening before the tragedy, his mother called him, but Dena reported that her husband wasn't feeling well and couldn't answer. Julian's mother asked her sister-in-law to call an ambulance, but she ignored her request. The expert examination showed that the young man died of a drug overdose, but no one saw a criminal trace in this tragedy, and his wife insisted he had voluntarily decided to end his life. In addition, she demanded that Julian's body be cremated, but his parents strongly opposed this. After her husband's death, Dena tried to claim a large insurance payment, but was denied because their marriage was recognized as invalid. At the funeral, Dena did not even try to cry or feign grief. On the contrary, she wore a frank outfit and behaved defiantly. Almost immediately afterward, the widowed woman began to engage in numerous affairs openly, bringing lovers to her house without hiding them from the neighbors. It was only in 1997 that Dena filed for divorce from her first legal husband. Less than a year later, she met Richard Thompson, who immediately managed to charm Dena. Without much thought, she told her new lover that she suffered from a serious illness and had only a short time to live. Blinded by love, Richard declared he would turn the last months of her life into a fairy tale and was ready to spend all his savings on this. The wedding couple played at one of the best hotels in Florida, spending their honeymoon there before returning to their native England and settling on its southern coast in the city of Brighton. According to Richard's memories, his wife literally bewitched him with Warburg. If you enjoyed this short crime story, please hit like and subscribe.